Old country roads take me home to the place where I fail, West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Oh, take me home, a country roads. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of You Have Failed with me, Sam Vader. And the context behind the choosing of country roads this week is because I was discussing with King's Eyes, looking at some of the analytics for the show, and apparently the state in America that I'm most popular in is Virginia. So we thought we'd do a bit of country roads mention because it's a song that mentions Virginia. Um, yeah, that's the context behind that. And of course, before I start the episode proper, I would like to mention that obviously we here at Sigil Arts do stand with the Black Lives Matter campaign still and continuously, and we are still working on our more concrete statement and more concrete ways to make a difference. But I will still keep shouting it out every week and until we have something better in mind to actually raise awareness or something as well as. And yeah, that's that bit over. And today's episode was inspired by some injustice I noticed earlier, and not the kind of injustice you'll probably think. I didn't see anyone murdered. Although I did watch Flash Gordon in the cinema today. That's an episode for another day. I don't know if that one would fail or not. It's so awful that it's funny. I don't. Anyway, off topic. Injustice today. I was talking with one of my brothers, and we were talking about YouTube and who we respectively watch on YouTube because we all have different tastes. I watch PokeTubers and stuff like that, and watch Apex stuff, whereas one of my brothers watches Fortnite and stuff like different tastes. I don't know Fortnite and stuff, and the biggest thing because my youngest brother, it was his birthday recently, and he got a lot of Sidemen merch for his birthday. If you want to get some really cool merch for your birthday, go check out King Styles Apparel. Get the Failure Wear collection, but that sponsor comes later on. But I'll plug it anyway. Yeah, so he likes the Sidemen and Dude Perfect, and so does my other brother. These are like the big YouTuber companies, not the YouTubers, like the big companies, and they like on YouTube and like all the KSI and whatever, and that sort of thing. And mainly Sidemen and Dude Perfect, I've noticed with those two. And I mentioned a name in conversation today of what is essentially a YouTube titan, and they gave you blank faces. Now, to you listeners, I hope that really, really hope if you don't, I don't know how to feel about it. If I mention the name Smosh to you, what does that mean to you guys? Smosh, if you delve deep into internet history, Smosh is the original YouTube company. It had the highest views on any YouTube video ever. It was them lip syncing to the Pokemon theme, which eventually got taken down because I think Pokemon sued. But that's not the point. They were like the biggest channel, and they're still going today. And I'm frankly offended that Smosh has somehow fallen to the wayside to what? Sidemen? Dude Perfect? Pfft, I spit at thee. You are not Smosh. You do not have the entertainment factor that Ian Hecox and Anthony brought to the internet. And now, yes, Anthony has gone his separate ways, but Ian Hecox still leads the team with the new Smosh. And they make just as funny videos, and they are just as good, and they are the best people on YouTube still. I stand by that fact. So today's You Have Failed is about Smosh. And yeah, maybe they've gone out of. This can be a bit of a ramble at this point. I can already tell. Maybe they've gone out of fashion at this point, but how? It's comedy gold. I was playing Apex yesterday with Cameron, one of my fellow Gapexers, and we were playing along. We were discussing Smosh and how much we used to love it, and saying how one of our favourite sketches is where you've got it's like the Law and Order parody where it's Courtney Miller versus Courtney frickin' Miller. And it's a 20-minute long video, but it's just so fucking. The bit where Courtney frickin' Miller just goes, I am on every drug imaginable right now. Mainly Windex. Like, obviously, out of context, it's not that funny. Or the bit at the end when they're doing the closing statements, and to be fair, it's from the same bit where they make that. She's like, my whole existence is definitely a crime, but not the crime that I'm being accused of today. Have I murdered people? yeah. And everyone was like, what? And he's like, I am not on trial for that right now. And it's just, hats off to Shane Top, who, by the way, I'll say right now, is the funniest member of Smosh. Shane is absolutely hilarious. If somehow he hears this, you're a funny guy. Honestly, you're a real funny guy. Obviously, you're all funny, but Shane's just in a league of his own in how quick he is. And you can tell when you're watching the Courtney Miller versus Courtney freaking Miller that he is literally making up most of what he's saying because the others are trying so hard to stay in character and they can't. They're just wetting themselves and laughing, and that's what Smosh is. It's funny. Obviously, I don't get me wrong. I haven't watched Sidemen. I've watched some of Dude Perfect. Like my brothers have shown me, and yeah, cool. You can do a sick trick shot with a bow and arrow. So can Green Arrow, so can Hawkeye, and they're in big budget films. And yeah, it's not as real because it's definitely not, but there's a more entertainment factor. With Smosh, it's just pure comedy, and maybe that's because that's my preference. I like comedy, and I like to laugh and stuff like that. But honestly, people out there listening, please do join either the Discord server or not either. Join the Discord server and follow me on Twitter at Vader Saiyan, and obviously follow the show as well at You Have Failed SV. And let me know, what do you think of Smosh? And this will obviously mainly in the Discord server. It'd be better to manage it there. But do you guys watch Smosh? Have you watched Smosh? And what do you think? And because obviously there was the big incident, was it a year ago, 2 years ago now, I can't remember, where they were under Defy. So obviously Smosh was its own little brand under Defy Media, and Defy went bankrupt, and we almost lost Smosh, along with a few other companies. There's the one with what's its face, Clever. That's it, Clever. And that's the one where Clever's another channel. It's quite a good one, to be fair. It's got like Erin Robinson and Lily Marston and Jocelyn and stuff. They do loads of different things on that. And fortunately, all those brands have sort of managed to survive, and the content creators have kept going. But there was an uncertain time, and Smosh managed to keep going, and I'm glad it does, because their videos are some of my favourite things to watch on YouTube. Genuinely, whether it's their I don't need to say their You Have Failed series. No, that's my series. That's what I'm doing right now. Fuck, I'm an idiot. Anyway, no, whereas their Try Not to Laugh series, their Two Truths, One Lie, most of which involves water, I'm realising. They're on Smosh Games, the gaming channel for it, where if you lose a game, you've got to eat like a ghost chili pepper or down pickle juice or really awful forfeits for losing. And like entertainment value, you can't really beat it. And I don't get why people think that, oh, I don't know, like Smosh is the best YouTube channel, and normally I'd make a stupid joke like, oh, other than Saiyan Vader. No, they're obviously 100 times better than me. They're pros. I mean, like Shane Top and Damien has I can never remember how to say it. It's like it's either double AS or HASS. Either way, I can never remember how to pronounce it. They were on So Random on Disney Channel, which might not sound impressive to you guys, but like, they've genuinely got like proper acting careers. Like they're proper cast members. They're not just. Obviously, when Ian and Anthony started, they were just random friends on YouTube, like who'd met and were friends and started a YouTube channel. But now it's all like proper serious, like they're proper cast members. Say Shane and Damien were on Disney Channel. Shane's also been on the Goldbergs, which I know he likes to plug a lot. Like, I'm just saying this to point out that Smosh are genuinely, like, they're casted for reasons. They're funny, they're good at what they do, and they make good content. Like, what's the one where they made a skit about going to a therapy session where, once again, Shane, he's playing a dodgy character. Like, is it the dumpster wizard? And he's like, looking to go to therapy, eh? Many a traveller walked through those doors, none have returned. And it's, honestly, just go and watch Smosh, guys. That's the message of this episode. Because it's just funny. Like, you think after, I think after 50 odd, I keep trying to say You Have Failed. That's your show. You Have Failed is your podcast. That is what you are doing right now. And ironically, you're fucking failing at it. You absolute fucking moron. And yes, I managed to censor myself without using any technology. I've just got that good at not swearing in front of my parents. Because they don't mind it, but If you do it too often, they're a bit like, ooh, no, that's not good. And I'm like, yeah, I don't give a fucking shit. I'm joking, mother and father. I hope you don't listen to this episode. I hope you don't listen to any of the episodes, quite frankly. Please. Thank you. This is getting awkward. Anyway, Smosh. Try not to laugh. Not you have failed. After like 50 odd try not to laughs, I nearly said you have failed again. Um, you think like they'd all run out of ideas. And don't get me wrong, Shane does bring a few jokes back, but this is cat's off to how funny he is. Like, he'll bring a skit back that shouldn't work a second time, yet he'll still get the laugh. Like the whole pizza place where I go, do. Hello, Pizza Hut. You're my favourite pizza place. Do. Hey, Papa John's. You're my favourite pizza place. And it shouldn't be funny, but the way he delivers it and the way it's hilarious. And then the one time he mixed it up, he did the "You're my favourite pizza place." Put it back and went do. Oh, Dad. What? I I thought you said you and Mum were working things out. And I was like, oh fuck yeah, now. And then there's the one where he comes out and he's like, oh yeah, I met this girl the other day. I brought her back to my house, to my crib, and yeah, she got on her knees and totally read the Bible. Oh yeah, then she got off her knees and I turned her on her back and then we totally read the Bible. And it shouldn't be funny, guys. It shouldn't. But it is, and they just do loads of other like, game shows and stuff. They've got one called Stan versus the Internet, where if you're like you're their resident expert or something. So you had Damien as their resident anime expert. You had Shane come on as the resident American football expert, and they'll basically like do a game show where someone's then got a computer and they try and get the answer before they do, and you know it's they had Smosh versus So Random, who knows who better, and they have celebrity guests on Try Not to Laugh. They had Zachary Levi. That's the guy who played Shazam in Shazam. Yeah, they got him on. They get famous people. They get Gus Johnson, who has not broken on Try Not to Laugh yet. And I feel so sorry for Shane because he tries so hard to get the man to laugh. The thing is with Gus Johnson, and I'm going to give a running commentary because this podcast, whatever I want at this point, right? This episode's just mental, like me and Smosh. Smosh, hire me. I'm joking. That'll never happen. I'm not funny enough. But yeah. So Gus, right? Because obviously what they do is they put water in their mouth, and if they spit it out, that's evidence that they've laughed. The problem is Gus Johnson. He's laughing at what Shane's doing. It's very obvious that he's laughing. He goes purple sometimes laughing, but he's just clearly got very good control over his mouth and just will not spit out that water. So I kind of feel like Shane should win that because I mean he literally had the guy in tears and purple in the face, but still to this day hasn't got him to spit the water. But yeah, they get some proper good guests on. They had the Valley Folk, they have Try Guys, all these other good YouTubers as well. But Smosh is the OG guys. I mean, they just do a bit of everything. They had the spelling bikini wax, where if they do a spelling bee or whatever it was, but if you got it wrong, you'd get waxed. Around your bikini area, whether you guy, gal, or anything in between, they just get a professional. I don't know what you call waxers, wax on, wax. I don't know, professional bikini waxer, and there was obviously things covering the private areas, so you can't see when they're filming. But yeah, there was a good old, and just that's not like really like that's allowed. But to say it's sketches, it's game shows, they've got they had Chris Pratt on their Who Posted That, which is another game like it's a social media based game show. They had fucking Chris Pratt on that one. That was awesome. They play a lot of Jackbox games. They play Secret Hitler. That looks like a fun game. I need to buy that one. Yeah, Jackbox like Quiplash and other things, and I assume they've probably played Cards Against Humanity. They've been playing a lot of Quiplash when the lockdown was going on before they could go back to the studio. They were doing that. They play a lot of Switch games like 1-2 Switch, Mario Party, Mario Kart, and the like. And they always normally have forfeits, so that if you lose the deal, you lose your soul. Sorry, that's a completely different reference. But yeah, I mean, it's such an inventive channel, and they do so much. And I don't obviously because they sort of split it into three. So you've got Smosh, and you've got Smosh Pit and Smosh Games. I think they're the only three, and all the other little mini series fit under those respective banners. But they're all good. You don't really get an episode where you don't laugh of any of their series. They've even got a Smosh Cast, their own podcast where I don't know who's the main host. I imagine Ian, but I've seen one where I think it was just Courtney and Shane. Speaking of Courtney and Shane, they even had an episode where they showed off, they were talking about why they're both single and why their dating lives haven't gone well. Then another one showing off their dating app profiles, and another one where someone from Bumble, one of the more famous, I'd say second to Tinder probably, dating apps, actually came in to look at their profiles and recommend ways to improve it and maybe get more dates, if that makes any sense. And like they do everything. They had one where they got like a fortune teller to come in and read Courtney and Shane's future, and they had the one with the two truths, one lie. They got Ian's ex-girlfriend in to sit across, and obviously if the other person gets it wrong, you spray him with the water gun. Like they just push the boat out, guys, every time, and all of their sketches are hilarious. There was the one at Halloween where they fucking took Courtney into a haunted maze at Universal Studios, and they all abandoned her in there. But they'd set it up as a big trap, and to scare her, they took Shane into a room full of dolls to get him over his fear of dolls. They took Mari into a thing full of butterflies to get her over her fear of butterflies. And it's all hilarious content, and it hurt when I spoke to my brothers and went, "Oh yeah, Smosh, that's a good YouTube channel, isn't it?" And they went, "What's Smosh?" I went, "What's Smosh? How do you not know what's Smosh? It's not fair. What do you mean?" I mean, even going back to the old days where it was sort of Ian and Anthony, you had like food battle, or whatever they called it, where they just harass each other and other people with food. And so you had them lip syncing to the Pokemon theme song, which I think was their second video to them lip syncing to the Power Rangers theme song. And yeah, but then because it got taken down, they made a response video where they made a parody of the Pokemon theme, going, "It was a parody. Mess with me and I'll teach you." And like they were proper and they just did a response. It had been taken. This was a few years later, but yeah, it was the year 2005, I think, that video came out, and it was then the most watched video on YouTube. So Smosh is the real deal, guys, and watch it. I don't get why people wouldn't. It's pretty much like the ultimate comedy YouTube channel, and this isn't. I'm not paid, sponsored to promote them, and but I suppose any You Have Failed is I'm promoting or de-promoting anything I talk about, really. But for entertainment value, Smosh has really good stuff. And so one of my brother's friends then came round, Sean. Sean's a nice guy. He didn't know Smosh either. I was a bit upset, but I forgave him and didn't kill him. So we sat down, actually, the three of us, it was me, Reese and Sean, in the living room, and we watched Courtney Miller versus Courtney freaking Miller. Because that is my favourite Smosh video of all time. Because when Shane becomes Courtney freaking Miller, that is my favourite character he does. And it's fucking hilarious. You're talking to me? If I was stuck on a desert island with someone, I would pick up the island and throw it back to the mainland. Courtney Miller is just the most convoluted character. No, sorry, Courtney freaking Miller. It's the most convoluted character ever created, and honestly, it's brilliant. But anyway, yeah, so I sat down with Sean and Reese, and we sat there and we watched Courtney freaking Miller versus Courtney Miller, and Sean was loving it. He was laughing, he found it really funny, and everything fucking Courtney freaking Miller or Shane said was hilarious, and all the comments the other guys were making were they're all funny. Sorry, I single out Shane, but he is without a doubt the funniest. When he does try not to laugh, he's always the one that I feel like, yeah, he'd definitely get me. And likewise, in other games, when they do the Quiplash games, I tend to feel like Shane he doesn't win them all, obviously. It depends on the scenario, who you're up against, and what you're feeling like that day. But he tends to make some cracking jokes. And talking of cracking things, sounds like a perfect time to mention our sponsor of the week, which I have already mentioned, King Stars Apparel, where you have the Klansman Unite collection. You have the creators of King's Eyes collection. You have the Statement collection, and then you have the what's this? The best one? The best one? Not that I'm biased. The Failure collection, or the Failure Wear collection, if you want to be precise. Oh my god, it's so good. Look at all the shirts. Trust me, I'm the failure. Gapex Benders. A failure far, far away. Oh, what is this one? This man can't spell episode. Pim and Jam. Oh, what's this? Could it be? Go Power Failures? Is that Primeval? Is that Primeval, I see? Yes, the Failure Wear collection is full of brilliant shirts, and we have more on the way. I'm discussing with King's Eyes somewhat regularly, maybe ideas, and obviously he comes up with new ones based on what I talk about in the podcast, so ideas keep flowing, and there'll be more coming out for all of the collections, and more collections will be coming out soon. Do not think there won't be. King's Eyes is working very tirelessly, so please do support him and support your favourite creators by going and buying their merch. And I tell you what, I've bought some myself and been sent some myself. It's all completely worth it. The tri-blend is some of the nicest, softest material I've ever worn, and the shirts are so light, so nice, and so well fitted. Honestly, they're all brilliant quality shirts. I haven't bought any of the hoodies or joggers myself, but I've spoken to King's Eyes, and he won 100% vouchers for them. Not even just it's his brand, he absolutely loves them, and he wears them quite a lot. So genuinely, guys, if you want to support your favourite creators in a more monetary fashion, please do go check out the merch store. It would be great for you to purchase one of our shirts and see you around. Send us a picture on the Discord server or on Twitter, which I'm also going to plug now. So guys, are you a failure like me? Are you a finalist, which just means you're a failure but don't want to admit it because then finally is made by me and I'm a complete failure? Well, why not join the Discord server and meet like-minded, like-failured people like you? We have many servers, we have many sort of chat options within the server. I will probably be adding more as I think of more sort of separate topics that can be put into their own little brackets. We also have a few voice chat options, so when it gets to recording some podcasts, I can have some of you guys on to chat with, or if we do any sort of video game things, we might get a few of the listeners on for that sort of thing, and those opportunities will only come from being in the Discord server. You can also have discussions with me. I use the Discord server. I'm all notified on it. Obviously, I run the server. So if you want to talk to me or any of the fellow creators, Edo Ninja, Glitter, and King's Eyes are all also in the server. Obviously, they all have their own servers. I don't know if Glitter does just yet, but we'll probably be sorting that out very soon. I know, obviously, Edo and King's Eyes do for their podcast, but you can still join mine, join theirs, chat to any of us in any of theirs. I'm in theirs as well, so it doesn't really matter. And yeah, come and join us, have a chat, share memes, have fun, be part of the podcast, be part of the community, and yeah, meet people who like things like you or dislike things like you, or just tell me I'm wrong about my opinions, because it wouldn't be the first time I've ever been wrong. The first time was joining uni. However, I wouldn't have met King's Eyes and Glitter and wouldn't have a podcast. This is a weird paradox. Moving on, Twitter, I have that too. I'm gaining more followers on my actual Twitter page, which is at Vader Saiyan. That's me, although it's Saiyan Vader, but someone's already fucking got Saiyan Vader, and I'm gonna fucking sue them. That's me. They're stealing my identity, guys. Anyway, so follow me on Twitter, but also follow the show at You Have Failed SV. Also, if you like And Finally as well, and you're one of the listeners who listens to both, I don't know if they exist, I don't know if there's any way we can prove that or not, why not follow that page as well? And finally, SV. All of these Twitter pages will provide you the latest information on podcasts, whether one's been cancelled for the week, whether one's going to be a bit late, when one's up, which is always obviously 8 p.m. on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But obviously, if you want to know about bonus episodes, the Twitter account is the best way to go for that. But also the Discord as well, because I'll start probably using that for information on when the podcasts are going up. But yeah, join me on Twitter, interact with me, like my tweets, retweet my tweets, get my brand out there so more people can join the failure community and become one of us, one of us, one of us, one of us, one of us. Thank you for your cooperation. Back to the show, Governor. That was an impression of Cornelius doing an impression of me. I think it's quite accurate. Yeet. Smosh. From internet fame to, I would say, internet, obscurity, but they've probably got fucking millions of subscribers. But genuinely, guys, if you are listening to this, I would love to know if you have heard of Smosh before or have watched it, because I just assume that everyone knows Smosh because it's Smosh. But then my brothers assumed that I would have watched the Sidemen before, and I'm like, no, that doesn't sound like fun. That doesn't sound like they're sitting there spraying water guns at people for, telling a lie or something. Doesn't sound like they're trying to not laugh when someone is being very funny. So genuinely, preferably on the Discord server, because I'm more likely to see that. And if I don't, I'm more likely to have King's Eyes or someone notify me that there are messages going on in the server that I need to see. So that one is more likely for me to notice. Let me know if you have seen Smosh, watched Smosh, or even heard of Smosh, or subscribed to Smosh. But if you have to, I don't know, tag me on Twitter as well. That's fine. I'll get that notification too. I get all of them, because currently I get none. I'm not saying I don't have any friends. I'm just saying I'm very lonely, and any financial or emotional support would be greatly appreciated for this emotionally detached failure who does a podcast to self-therapy himself. Too far? No? Good? Awesome. No, I'm fine, honestly. I'm fine. Do you know what else is fine? Smosh! I was watching, what was it? They had a Smash Bros tournament between a few of their cast members, but each character you played as had a food that represented them. So it was either a pun to do with their name, or it was a pun to do with what their characters like. So I think the King DDD had like sea urchin, because one of his powers is to throw a sea urchin, apparently. I didn't know that until I watched that. No one played as Frog Ninja. I was very upset. But obviously I'm the only one who can unleash his full potential. And that's not true, because I'm useless at Smash Bros. But yeah, Smash Bros is one thing, the real Frog Ninja is another. Anywho, yeah, so they're playing that, and what they do, so say if your character lost a life, one of your ingredient would be put into the blender, and the loser has to drink whatever was in the blender. So say you played King DDD, you had sea urchin, and I think someone had like cheeseburgers. It was Little Mac, because it was a pun on Big Mac, so they had quarter pounders from McDonald's. And then they blended the sea urchin and hamburgers together, and the loser had to drink that, and it was fucking awful. And then they had an all v all fight at the end, so it was what, it was like 8 or 6, or however many the maximum is. I think it's 6, all in, and the winner got exempt. But then the other 5, you'd roll a dice, and whatever number it landed on would drink a blend of one of every single ingredient, and it's awful watching. The forfeits are disgusting. Like the hot sauce ones are horrible. The ones where they basically bake chocolates, but some of them have ghost peppers, and if you lose a game, you have to like spin a wheel like Wheel of Fortune and pick a chocolate and hope it's not a ghost pepper one. Like, that looks fucking awful. Not all of their things have horrible forfeits. Some things they're just playing for fun, like Cards Against Humanity or Secret Hitler, and sometimes they play Switch games for fun as well. But the forfeits are what I think really makes it interesting. I'm sitting there like, Jesus Christ, I could not take a ghost pepper chocolate as well as they do. Like, they've probably just got used to eating that sort of shit over the years of doing this. Like, honestly, when I bring out a new video series, which I suppose I'll tease here for the first time, Glitter knows about this. I've spoken to her. I think King's Eyes might do, but he might have forgotten. We're going to call it the Failure Funhouse. That'll be debuting on my YouTube channel, Say Invader. That'll probably be starting around September, October time, when I get back to university and catch up with King's Eyes and Glitter again in person. Woo, none of us are excited about seeing each other again. Well, they're excited about seeing each other. They're not excited about seeing me, and vice versa. It's a love-hate relationship full of solely hate. Especially me and Glitter. But, we deal with it. We work together. It is what it is. What? So yeah, Failure Funhouse, which has sort of, I suppose, been inspired by Smosh in a way, where we will do similar things, play games and stuff, and post it on YouTube and hope you have fun. It's also sort of inspired by, if you go back on You Have Failed and listen to what's its face, the episode Failures Against Humanity. That's the title of the episode. I want to say it's episode four, Failures Against Humanity, which I genuinely went back and listened to the other day, and I'm surprised we got away with half the jokes we did in that one. But then again, when the person who runs your network is also making those jokes, it makes everything you say okay. Plus, I had a disclaimer, it's fine. I told you if you were offended to get a sense of humour. I'm not wrong. So that also inspired it as well, because we had a lot of fun doing that, and we thought, what if we turn it into more of a video series where we will do things like Try Not to Laugh. We'll play some Quiplash games, Cards Against Humanity, Mario Kart. Yes, Connie, yes, Mario Kart will be involved. We'll play some Smash Bros, some Fighter Z, some, I don't know, Pokemon Battle. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Some Yu-Gi-Oh! No, I'd win every time, and they'd never agree to that. But that's a new video series I will be coming out with, the Failure Funhouse. Look out for it. It'll be coming some point, probably full time. Yeah, cool. King's I need to speak to you about a logo for that series. I've spoken to Glitter about it, but haven't spoken to you yet. This is the announcement. Hope you like it. Boom! Yeah, so Smosh. Once again, they've essentially then inspired me as well. They're just, and don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting I will be anywhere near as funny as Smosh, right? I'm hoping when the video series does come out, you like it and you find it funny. And, I'm sure King's Eyes and Glitter will be quite funny as well. If we do try not to laugh, Glitter will laugh like anything we do, like anything. She's so easy to make laugh. But yeah, there's no way I don't think I'd ever be as funny as a member of Smosh. Maybe I will, and maybe this podcast will really take me somewhere, and eventually I'll have loads of listeners. And don't get me wrong, I'm incredibly grateful for all the viewers I have on YouTube and all the listeners I have on You Have Failed and Am Finally, respectively. And I'm glad that at least some people enjoy listening to what I've got to say, and I might make someone's day better, I might make them laugh, I might teach them something. That's more and finally. If you learn anything from this podcast, good on you, really. I'm learning a lot about myself every week, and yeah, we'll leave it at that for what I learn about myself. But yeah, so I do genuinely hope that this will hopefully really take off. And don't get me wrong, it is. The viewers are going up every week. The total overall views are massively breaking through my expectations every week. Me and King's Eyes pretty much discuss the analytics weekly, and it seems to keep growing. And so hopefully this will really get somewhere. We've got some new stuff in the works for the show, and some things that I'm not going to mention. It's more behind the scenes stuff that we're not going to bring forward just yet, but it might take me somewhere. But Smosh is someone who's already made it, and the fact that the youth of today, and maybe some people even my age, don't know who it is anymore, I don't quite get that. It was the titan of YouTube back in the day. Obviously, there are other things you'd always watch. Like, I've always watched Pokemon videos, and I used to go on here and watch fucking, I don't know. I don't want to know what I used to watch on YouTube. And I still watch other stuff today. I watch Doctor Who clips, and PokeTubers are a big thing I watch. I watch, Original 151, United Gamer, King Corfish, Asteroid Mania videos, and the such, Clever, I still watch some Clever videos. Try Guys, I do like the Try Guys. But Smosh, they're titans of YouTube. They are. Ian Hecox is like the OG YouTuber as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if anyone else from around that era still does it and makes as much of a full-time job out of it. He's the president and CEO of Smosh, which is obviously his own company now. And he started from a guy of his best mate who was making YouTube videos back in 2004, 2005 when YouTube started. And yeah, it's when you see stuff like that, and then say me and Cameron were having such a good conversation about Smosh yesterday, laughing, saying how all the videos are, and how it's changed over the years, and how much we love Shane Top and we think he's hilarious, but how much the rest are all funny as well. Ian, Courtney, Damien, Keith, Noah, Mari, Olivia, the list goes on. Lasercorn, Matt Robb, Jovin, they're all really funny guys or girls, and they're really inventive with their shows. Who posted that? That's quite a clever show, based on your social media. Can you remember the end to this tweet or the word in this tweet, you know, what was the caption for this picture you posted, or what picture matches this caption. It's just so simple but clever, and I think that's what Smosh is. It's simple but clever, and yeah, it appeals to someone maybe with a slightly more childish sense of humour at times, but everyone needs to let that child in them have a laugh every now and again. And don't get me wrong, it gets mature at times, and the whole try not to laugh and true confessions and two truths, one lie, that's just purely funny because they're making up, obviously, one ridiculous statement, and then the rest are completely true, and you're like, how on earth is that actually what happened? Like, are you insane? And it's just... Smosh deserves, I think, still be in the limelight. I say I haven't watched Sidemen. They might be really good. They might be. But they're not Smosh. Dude Perfect are good, but as I say, it's just trick shots, and don't get me wrong, some people might be into that, and it's good, and they do brilliantly, and I've got nothing against them. I'm just saying, when I'm hearing more about that than I am about comedy titans, like these guys go to Comic-Cons and they perform. I saw, was it start of this year, I think before the pandemic, they were in Australia at a Comic-Con and they did a live Try Not to Laugh for the audience, and you know, they look, they're good guys. So the main message of this, I suppose, is if you haven't watched Smosh, go and watch it. If you have watched Smosh, you're amazing, and let me know. And if you haven't, and then you do go and watch it, come and let me know you watched it. I have a Discord or Twitter, but join both. Join both. Join all of it. Join all of my socials, right? Join my actual social circle. Find my phone number and join my. I've got no friends. Help me. No. I need to stop going on the tangent. It get out of hand, and now I do this in Russian accent, and it's not very good. I don't know what to be going on. This, I believe, is the result of me watching Flash Gordon earlier and having brain fried by such bad movie it finally good. Hashtag will be a later episode of this show. Look out for that. At some point, I don't know, there's no schedule to this, I tell you that now. There's no planning that goes on in my head. King's Eyes will back me up, and finally has some serious planning. This shit. No, I plan it, but not as extensively as... There's no schedule. I sort of just plan a few days before what I'm going to talk about, and then watch it, take down a few notes, and then come into the episode. It's not like I know what I'm doing weeks in advance, because it's just, yeah, no one does. No one knows what they're doing weeks in advance. That's what I'm saying. Smosh doesn't. I mean, they probably do, but Smosh doesn't. And you should watch Smosh. You should love Smosh. Smosh it out. As I say, even during quarantine, they kept going. They were playing those Quiplash games, not Quiplash, Jackbox games, like Quiplash. There's the one where you're comedians on a sinking ship, and the ship's sinking, and you're trying not to sink, and you've got to tell jokes. Like basically, all Jackbox games are sort of the same. You'll normally get given a prompt, either written by the computer or the other people, and you'll have to make some sort of joke out of it, or draw it, or depending on what thing you're playing. There was a quiz one as well. That was a bit weird. I played that around my friends. That was a bit strange, I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, like they just keep going, and Smosh, obviously, it doesn't need this support from me, if that makes any sense. Like, Smosh isn't going anywhere, and it's not going to stop being this big company in YouTube and entertainment at the moment, and that's good. And it's good that it's not going anywhere, and the fact that, you know, these funny people have this platform to perform. Like, yeah, Shane still does other acting. I'm sure the others still do other jobs as well, but it's good that they still have Smosh as a platform to be themselves and be really funny. When not many people have that chance, and they are incredibly talented. And yes, Smosh isn't going anywhere, so my words here aren't going to make too much of a difference to them, really. I just feel like they deserve more respect in the ring of YouTube and entertainment in general, because YouTube's obviously a titan in itself of entertainment, sort of taking over terrestrial TV, along with the likes of Netflix and Amazon Prime and the such, and, you know, even just fucking recordings and stuff on Sky and stuff. But YouTube was the original one of that, and it did come into its own when these companies started putting out what you'd classify as actual shows, like Spelling Bikini Wax and Two Truths, One Lie and Try Not to Laugh. You know, when they started putting out official shows like this and YouTube channels started to become companies, that's when it became the newest form of entertainment, where terrestrial TV, you don't just sit down and watch what's programmed anymore. You sit down and watch what you want to watch. And I feel like Smosh should still be the titan of that, because it's sort of what pioneered it. Smosh was the OG YouTube. And yeah, this rant was literally just inspired by the fact that 3 people I spoke to today don't know what Smosh was, or they do now. Don't worry, I gave them a lecture. And yeah, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. It got weird at times, but it always does. And you know what? It's about the friendships you made along the way. So, for me, it's meaningless. Thank you so much for watching. Oh god, I messed up my own outro. Nani? No. Smosh, of course, you have not failed. I've been bigging you up this whole thing, and honestly, genuinely, do go and watch it and support it. It's a brilliant channel, and obviously support me by joining the Discord and joining the Twitter, please. All jokes aside, I'd love it. I'd love to get to know you guys who listen. So either follow me on Twitter or follow me or join Discord. If you don't have Twitter or Discord, make an account. It's all free, because I genuinely would love to talk to and interact with the people who listen to our podcast, because I'd genuinely probably like to thank you in person for actually listening to me each week and taking the time to listen to me talk. And I'd love to get your ideas, feedback, and maybe have you on for an episode of the podcast one day, and that would be great. I'd honestly love that. We were discussing this, me and Glitter, the other day. Me were genuinely saying, like, you know, we'd love to have a thing where we have our people who listen to us come on to the shows or YouTube videos, and we interact with you and do stuff. So please do join the server and join Twitter and interact with me and your other favourite creators, because we'd love to get to know you. Well, I suppose I can't speak for them, but I'm sure they would, and I definitely would love to get to know you. Thank you, and, you know, have a chat with you about your opinions and all this stuff. So thank you once again so much for listening. Please do join the servers. Smosh has not failed. Do go check them out. Yeah, I guess that's all I've got to say. So speak to you next week, guys. See you later. Yeet.